video. So here we are in Carlsbad, and you said over here we got the Palma Airport, so that might interfere, but
yeah, they have jets and helicopters coming in all the time. But this is the Humbug. It was also called a Wombat. GM made them change the name of this kit car at some point. Watch out, there's a car coming behind you.
as long as they don't hit me, we'll keep doing what we're doing.
It's a project I took over from a friend of mine. He had it for about 13 years. Was originally going to go lead acid on it. Now it's a lithium-powered electric vehicle. I've done on the super cheap. Everything's been either cheap or free on this car, and making tiny steps on it to make it better and better as I go along. So I guess we could start in the back since we're here. This is a big DC motor in there, like a forklift motor. I think it's an advanced DC 1401. Next to it there, you'll see the part of the controller. It's a Zilla controller, 1000 amp controller. Third or fourth iteration of controllers in here.
Yeah.
This one's water cooled, so there's a little pump here and a radiator to dissipate that heat.
So I'm seeing the controller there has an external. So is it the guy in turquoise there? Is that, it's got some nice big power wires coming off that. The turquoise enclosure there, and then this water pump is going to this radiator right here that's pulling heat mostly off.
All off the controller.
Gotcha.
So just keeps it cool enough, but it's only a PC radiator fan. It doesn't make that much heat. Tiny little fan. The other brains of that controller are sitting in the back seat over here.
Yeah,
That'll be covered by a backrest at some point, but for now it's easy to get to and operate on.
So right now, this says it's a hairball Zilla interface, and you got some, plenty more pins that you could connect there if there was more need to, but it doesn't need a lot. What do you got coming off that control board? It's obviously running up to the front here.
Yeah, so for this car, it doesn't have power windows, power brakes, power anything. It doesn't need other pumps and things, so it's very simple. So a lot of the stuff doesn't even get used on that controller.
Makes me think of my
down to 400 amps maximum right now, so I don't kill these batteries.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
These are recycled batteries from a Volkswagen e-Golf 2016 era. There's 8 of them in here. It makes a 32S battery at about 134 volts, fully charged.
So you got a pack that's predominantly in the front, pulled out of some e-Golfs. Is this when you pull those out of an e-Golf, is that a wreck that you pulled them out of, or?
In this case, it was warranty repairs where they pulled an entire pack out and parted it out. So.
And so, yeah, I said predominantly, and this is, so 100% of your batteries are in the front here?
Right, for right now.
Yep.
So that rough-looking metal rack that's on the back, that will be for my extended battery pack that should give me about an 80-mile range. The current e-Golf batteries in the front only have about a 25-mile range.
Well, it looks like we should probably take this thing for a test drive.
We should. Let me show you more up in the front here, though, while we're at it.
Right on.
This is the charger right here. It lets me plug in a regular J1772 normal charger into this thing and charge it anywhere I am.
Very nice.
The brains of this thing are a Raspberry Pi computer right here with a CAN bus interface on it. It talks to these 3 BMS boards around the sides here, which give me the battery voltages on all 32 cells that make up this battery pack. It also then transmits the data to my phone so I can see how high my batteries are, high or low, and get some other things like GPS speed off of this thing over CAN bus, and some other information to be able to log the data from the car when I'm driving and then analyze it later.
So
Since these are all junkyard batteries, they've been charging and discharging at different rates, and I've been weeding through them. So I can pull the bad ones out as I see they're not up to the task.
So you could have them instrumented to some extent, that like how if you have a pack or a cell, if there's some, you know, if you don't have control over knowing which one's bad, do you have to kind of go at it with a voltometer, or do you have the ability to kind of go in with a scalpel and excise the thing that you need to swap out?
Yeah, I swap them out in packs only, and these come out with 4 bolts, and I've done it on the side of the road plenty of times.
Gotcha.
Without the instrumentation of a BMS on there, I've ruined many batteries. 8 to 10 packs I've ruined by over discharging them and also overcharging them. So now I know they're balanced. I stop the charging when the top cell hits the top voltage instead of keep plowing power into it, ruining the cells or at least shortening their lives.
Well,
So,
I'd call that learn by doing.
Right, that was one big step that I did in the beginning. I was just measuring voltage across an entire pack, or just measuring the entire voltage across everything. That wasn't good enough. I killed lots of batteries and had a couple of tow truck rides because of that.
Well, there's certainly some other systems in here, like lighting. Are we looking at anything that are you looking at LEDs? Are you looking at standard? What comes off? Because I think about if I was to buy an EV, like a Nissan Leaf or a Tesla or anything out there, right? They're often doing things like saying, okay, we got a traction pack, and we also have another pack for accessories. What kind of work did you do to drive the motor, but also be able to power those? You know, sure, you don't have power door locks, you don't have doors, but you do have lights.
Right. So this is my 12-volt battery, and you still need a regular 12-volt battery. I just didn't want any lead acid in here at all. So these are 3 modules from a Ford C-Max, and there's a BMS on here that manages those. So then that gets my 12 volts that normal car stuff needs. The charger needs that for its signaling. The controller needs 12 volts also. And there's a DC to DC converter in here that acts like the alternator does in a regular car, keeping the 12-volt battery topped up all the time while you're driving. So yes, it still does need that as well. I did, however, change all the bulbs that I could in this car to LED, just so they don't burn out, they take the least amount of power as possible, and they look better. So
this is totally awesome. Thanks for sharing. I might have to share it with a couple people, but let's go take a ride.
Feel free to post. Yep.